So this is the aorta, the wall of the aorta. And what I wanted you to focus in on this slide, because the other main layers aren't very clear or good representation, is the tunica media layer. A very thick layer of smooth muscle. And the black lines, what are those? You know what those little black lines are?
Fibrous tissue.
Those are elastic fibers? Yeah, those are elastic fibers. So it's primarily smooth muscle, but in the aorta is an example of an elastic artery because it has to stretch under the pressure of the blood with each beat of the heart. Yeah, so these black streaks, those are elastic fibers. And looking at your list, it doesn't separate out the aorta, but elastic fibers is the last item on your list there under blood vessels. So this whole layer, this is the middle layer. This is called the tunica media. Okay, in other blood vessels, you don't see so many elastic fibers. It's just the elastic arteries that have all those black elastic fibers in there. But the tunica media is always smooth muscle. Okay, so the blood vessel, we'll go over this soon, I'm not sure if Monday, but the three layers of the wall is the tunica intima, which is on the inside and not really shown here, tunica media, and then the outer layer is the tunica, has a couple names, tunica externa or adventitia. Okay, so this one, smooth muscle in the tunica media and the elastic fibers. That's the aorta. Can you get another F23L? I know we have a better, oh, it's right here on the front, sorry. My bad, I'll get it. Oh, thanks. Okay, let's look at this one, and then if we have time, we'll look at another one, because the other one we have is a little bit better than this. And I know the coloring isn't great tonight, but we will get a little bit better. F23L, it's the artery and vein.
This one just says F23, is that it?
Yeah, that's it, thanks. Okay, so this is inside of the artery here, that's blood. And what we're looking at here is the three layers. Okay, the intima is a very thin inside layer. The media is the thicker, smooth muscle layer, and the adventitia is the outer collagen, dense fibrous tissue layer. So the intima layer, you basically see this kind of squiggly line that looks like a rubber band. Okay, that's part of it. That's not on your lab list, but that's called the internal elastic membrane. We'll go over it as part of lecture. That's part of the tunica intima. And then you also see this, you can see the nuclei of the simple squamous endothelium in there. See, there's like kind of a scattering of nuclei here. So you have the endothelium, which is simple squamous lining, and then you have that elastic layer right there, that's squiggly. That's all part of the tunica intima. Those two things, endothelium and then that internal elastic membrane, which is not on your list. Okay, so then the tunica media is this layer. And this is the, what's this one? Adventitia, yeah. I'm going to put up that other slide, which I think is a little better. Hopefully. This one has an artery and a vein. And when veins are sectioned, they collapse because their walls are very weak. They tend to be a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. This is the vein, this is the artery. So looking at the layers on the vein is very difficult and not what we're gonna do. We'll focus on looking at the layers on the artery. So that's blood in the middle, and you can, maybe you saw some of the blood cells, the red blood cells if you got close enough. And I have a really good picture of this that I took a while back from a slide in this class, and I can show it to you on Monday in the review. And also on, if any of you want, I can post it as well. And so this is the outermost layer. What is this outer layer? Yeah, that's the adventitia. Yeah. Okay, and then here you have this, see the smooth muscle? What's the name of that layer? Yeah, it's the tunica media. So it's the three main layers, just like we've been seeing. Organs tend to have main layers and then sublayers. So that was the main layer. That was the main layer. And then this main layer in here. Yeah, tunica intima. Tunica intima in here.
Or interna, either is okay.
Same thing, intima and interna, same thing. I don't know why they're so similar. Two different things. Two the same thing. Okay.
So tunica intima is the innermost layer.
Tunica intima and tunica interna, does it have both of those? Yes,
Yeah.
are the innermost layer. Okay, I think we're good with the blood vessel. Any questions about that one?
Is it simple squamous for the leukocyte?
Yes, it's simple squamous. The endothelium is simple squamous lining. Maybe we'll just take a quick closer look. Yeah, actually that looks a lot better closer. Okay, so see the smooth muscle? Yeah.
Is that elastic or nuclear?
These are the nuclei of the endothelium. There's one there.
I mean in the tunica media.
These are nuclei.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are nuclei. Yep, of the smooth muscle cells. So this is the tunica media. See that? It's all the way from there. There's the border of it, and then this is the border of it here. So the intima layer, here's the endothelium, here's a nucleus. It's just simple squamous. So it's very thin, very, very thin. Okay, so it's just very skinny. You're looking at simple squamous from the side. So you're just basically seeing the nuclei, the cells, so
It's
small,
one
flat.
cell layer thick.
One cell layer thick. Exactly. But then it also has this elastic, what they call the elastic membrane in here. So this is tunica intima, is all of this in here. All right, let's move on. And we'll go over it a little bit more with the lecture portion, so it'll become more clear. All right, so the trachea has the tracheal cartilages. What kind of tissue is that?
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Good. Great. And the trachealis muscle, what kind of tissue is that? Smooth muscle. Good. So there's the giant abnormal veins located right in there. In that areolar tissue. Okay, so here's the hyaline cartilage. Great. So the structure is called the tracheal cartilage. The tissue is the hyaline cartilage. So remember the difference between that. And then if we go back here, this is far, I'm at the scanning lens, so I can't give you a bigger picture view than this. This back here, look for the smooth muscle up there. Usually in the gap of the C, you should be able to spot some smooth muscle. Here, a little bit over there. Usually it does go all the way across. They just may not have gotten quite the right section there to show it all the way across. What's this called? This smooth muscle, what's that called?
Trachealis.
That's the trachealis muscle. Good. And what else is on your list there?
The pseudostratified.
Pseudostratified ciliated columnar. Okay. Yeah, so that's the epithelial lining. So if you're in the front, you can probably see the cilia. Those of you in the back, maybe not, but here's the cilia, lots of nuclei. That's the pseudostratified ciliated columnar. There's the hyaline cartilage. All right, let's move on so we can get that last one up here. Okay, what organ are you looking at here?
Lungs.
Yep, this is the lung. So the lung is kind of like a sponge. Has these air spaces. This is nothing. This is where the air is. So in your slide, that is not a structure. That's just nothing. That's lack of structure. That's where the air space is. And so the alveoli are these somewhat circular structures. Alveoli, plural, alveolus, singular. So it's made up of these alveoli, and we'll go over what those are, because they have a simple squamous lining. Go over those when we do respiratory. Okay, so now we need to find a bronchus and a bronchiole, if we have time. So a bronchus, we're looking for something that kind of looks like the trachea. Wow, that's a funky one, huh? Boy. It's all stretched out. Okay, well, we'll take it for the sake of time. This one's kind of stretched out, a little funny down there. But you can see the hyaline cartilage right there. How do I know that's not the trachea, though?
Because of the alveoli.
Yeah. Does the trachea have alveoli around it? Nope. Got to be a bronchus. If you see hyaline cartilage and alveoli around it, it's got to be bronchus. Okay, and there is smooth muscle in there. There should be. Just not really liking this example. Okay, it does have the same pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. You may be able to see the cilia at this point. This isn't our best slide, but we don't have time to search for it. There's some smooth muscles going to be right behind the epithelial layer. And then there's your hyaline cartilage again. Okay, and then last minute. Okay, another circular structure doesn't really look like an artery, now that you know what an artery looks like. Let's go a little closer. Some of the bronchioles are kind of thrown into folds, and some of them are more stretched out. You know what, I don't really like that example. I want to give you something that's pretty clear. That one almost looks like it's ciliated. Okay, we'll save the bronchiole for next time. Here's one that's more typical looking. Usually they look kind of wavy like that, but you can't, the smooth muscle is not super visible. I see some of it up there, but I'll show you a good example next time. Just remind me, okay? Okay, everybody, you did a great job. Have a great weekend.
You too.